It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. Shots of the Trucker John live stream, on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him out, he's heading south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Okay, mic is on. All right, everybody. Hello, hello. You caught me. I was just trying to wolf down some toast. Waiting for that stupid air conditioner to shut off. But good morning. I kind of woke up a little late this morning. I just kind of tired. Like I was out Ubering last night. You know, it's not too much. It's like my usual schedule, I guess. You know, so I didn't get to sleep or to bed till around 3, I think. And I just was tired this morning. And so excuse me. I'm sorry for not being really prepared right now. But hey, who we got in the house here? We got Steve is here. Hey, good to see Steve. And there's Jolie. And Roxanne Arnfield is here. And CN is in the driver's lounge. Good morning, everybody. Hope you have your coffee or whatever you got and ready to go here. Let's see. I was just looking at some of the accounts here, make sure everything's up and running. And looks like everything's good. Let me put it on all chats. Let's see, or all messages, I guess is whatever it's called. And yeah, look at there. There's everybody. Terry C, Hugger Greeters here. Good morning to Shannon's Tigre. We got, let's see, is everything looking okay on the screen? No exposure, no wall exposure. Pamela's here. I hope that wasn't too loud. I didn't hear anything. Alvin Stube is here. Got Jackie in here. William's here. Good to see you. I don't know if I missed something in the chat. I don't think it's letting me scroll all the way to the top, so I may have missed something there from the top. Pamela says, let's get trucking. Let's get the trucking. Let's get the trucking. Walter Makarovich is here. Good morning, Trucker John, and to all the Truckers Lounge. In the Truckers Lounge. Sally Blackburn is here. Devin Feltman show was great today. I'll have to check that out. David Feldman's a good dude. Makes a lot of sense. There's Fancy. Fancy has tomato soup. You having tomato soup for breakfast? Anyhow, let me get this out of the way. Richard, Los Angeles Dodgers fan. You betcha. You betcha. Walter Bukarevich says, Trucker John, what the H is going on with MSNBC and CNN? I see their CEOs are donating to Trump campaign. Watch Morning Joe, and they won't let go of the Biden's age. Well, I think you kind of answered your own question. Well, here, let me get this. Let me put this on the screen for you. I got some stuff here I need to put on here. Let's see. I was just looking at this. Look at here, Walter. The media's anti-Biden noise isn't an accident. We got CNN, CEO is a Trump donor. ABC, CEO is a Trump donor. CBS, CEO is a Trump donor. NBC, CEO is a Trump donor. MSNBC, CEO is a Trump donor. New York Times, CEO Trump donor. Washington Post, owner Jeff Bezos. We all know, I don't know about that guy. Wall Street Journal, owner Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, these assholes. The media is just owned by. Now, an argument might be made that a lot of these CEOs, they might be donating to both campaigns. I don't know, but we've heard a lot about during the CNN debate, or it was this CNN debate, that the CEO there is a big maggot, right? So it's no wonder that there is a bunch of bias, and it's really crossed over, I mean, to being more than just a bias, right? I mean, it's with the way they're just being relentless about this whole age thing. And it's something that I know Hal has talked about, and we've kind of thought, okay, it's going to last for a few days or a week, and it's going to go away. And it's going to go away eventually. But they really are belaboring the hell out of this fucking thing. And, okay, so Jolie says that meme is false. But I'm going to keep it up anyhow. I don't know, should I keep it up? Maybe I should take it down then. Snoop says it's false. Like I said, it's probably false because they probably donate to both camps. To 2116, I vote for dead Biden over Donnie, full stop. I've said that too. I've said, hey, I'll vote for, like I said, a dead Joe Biden over alive and kicking Trump any day of the week. MJ Daniel says, well, DJT is a dangerous sociopath on his own. The real danger are groups like the Heritage Foundation, corrupt GOP justices, and the compromised news media. And they're all working in concert with one another, you know? It's all a cabal, or whatever. It sounds so conspiratorial, but it's true. The Heritage Foundation and what's the other one? Does all the judges and stuff. They are working in concert with one another to bring us Gilead, USA, I guess. Or I guess it'd just be Gilead. Fancy DJT is a pedophile. Yeah. Why don't they bring that out? I mean, I don't know if this meme is true or not, but why don't they bring that shit out? Okay, so Joe Biden had a little gaffe or whatever. He had a bad moment. Okay, we've made note of it. Okay, duly noted. Now let's move on. Now let's talk about Donald Trump. Let's talk about what a fucking rapist that motherfucker is. Let's talk about what a fucking convicted felon that motherfucker is. Why would you want to vote for or have a convicted felon as your fucking president? Why would you want to have a fucking rapist as your fucking president? Why don't they bring that out? They should. Okay, if they want to talk about Biden's age, then for every time they do that, they need to have just an equal proportion of stories about Trump. Trump is slipping too. Trump doesn't sound all that great when he talks. He never really has. He's always been this Gish Gallop word salad machine. You know, it shouldn't be so one-sided. I'm not saying we should hide the anything bad that comes up on Biden. Report away, but don't do it in such a disproportionate way that Trump gets away with all this shit. It's ridiculous. Walter McCarriage, not a peep about 14-year-olds running around with Trump and Esping in New York Harbor. Richard, I had no prior knowledge of Watergate. MJ Daniel, I would vote for the Futurama Biden head in the jar over DJT. William, it's good to see people in the UK and France came to their senses. I only hope that we come to our senses here. And I know that you and I in the chat, we are pretty much of the same mind, I think, except for the occasional troll that comes in. But, you know, we're probably all going to vote for Biden, right? I mean, I know I am, and I think most of you guys are. But it's convincing the independents, the so-called independents, the undecideds, the unaffiliated, the ones that aren't affiliated with a party. They're the ones that really decide these elections. It's getting them on board and more and more of them. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. William says it's good to see. Oh yeah, I read that. Roxanne, Richard, I wish that were true. Richard says I hope Trump ends up in prison and the inmates have the way with him. Yeah, I've heard that comment before in this chat, and my first reaction is like ew. But you know, like for the prison, like you know, not for Trump, but for the other inmates, like. 20106, well, I don't know what a pedo looks like, but when I see Mike Johnson, I think, yeah, pedo. Yeah, there's something definitely wrong with that dude. They're all just warped, these Republicans. Walter Makarovich, I hope we learn that from that, William. From the France and England, I guess. Richard Shimon Scotus, MJ Daniel, this is one of the duties of the VP, and I'm fine with Kamala Harris. If it comes to that, the mental state of Trump is much more concerning to me. Absolutely. Nick Rich 56 is here. Hey, Nick, good to see you. I'd vote for Tough Cookie over any maggot. Yeah, heck yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. Tawada 106, holy feck, I couldn't live through half of what Joe Biden went through. Yeah, I mean, we all, you know the story about his wife and his daughter and everything, and pretty horrible stuff. Lucky Star 8888, President Biden is not only dealing with his presidential duties and leader of the free world, but he is out there campaigning and reaching out to the voters. Trump is playing golf, so fuck the media. Yeah, Biden has not hidden away. He's been out there on the campaign trail, has a fucking schedule like, that most of us couldn't keep up with. Most people half his age couldn't keep up with that schedule. And then you've got Trump, who's been relatively silent. I guess someone's been posting stuff on his, truth thing or whatever. And he's been maybe just golfing, and I guess that's their strategy. They see what's going on with the media, so they're just letting that play out, or they're letting their philosophy is let the Democrats fight each other. And it's only being really just being kind of spurred on by this media, this mainstream media, whether or not that meme is true or not. But I should probably take it down because I do trust Snopes. I think Snopes is always pretty good. Pamela says President Biden is a strong and decent man. His experience and wisdom is what I'm voting for. Yeah, voting on his record. Right. Here, let's take this maybe somewhat inaccurate. Although I think the sentiment is there. I'm trying to get this thing to move, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I can't get it to move. So now you're just seeing my finger, my big old finger. And it's frustrating me. Okay, there we go, finally. Okay. I do have, this little meme here. All right, Jolie, this one's not inaccurate. Oh my God. This is frustrating using this app because you got to do everything like touch screen, and now I can't get it to move. I can't get it to do anything. Well, anyhow, I wanted to expand it. I wanted to make it bigger, but it won't let me. Oh well. Anyhow, hey, look at there. Awesome. We got Lucky Star 88 gives a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you, and thanks for helping support the show. Fancy's gifted a membership, and Carrie C got it. So Fancy, thank you so much, and Lucky Star 8888, thank you so much. Help grow the show, help us keep the show going. So it's always greatly appreciated. But like, subscribe, share, that's always appreciated. Whatever you can do. But hey, thanks a lot so much. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot so much. But yeah, you know, we're gonna run. It says they attack his age because they can't attack his record, and that goes in a lot with what I guess it was Pamela that brought that up. Like I started 88. I'd like to see Rupert Murdoch work as hard as President Biden and any of those lazy ass propagandists on right wing media. Yeah. Biden works his ass off. Nick Rich gifted the membership. Thank you, Nick. So we got Nick in there, and Alvin Stube got that one. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for helping support the show. I do appreciate it. Sally Blackburn. Trump is a liar and a cheat. Absolutely. He's a big liar. He's a big cheat. Every business he's done is gone down in flames. He's had to file bankruptcy so many times. So many lawsuits against him for him just bilking people and ripping people off. He's a total con man. He's a grifter. There's no redeeming qualities about him. And even Mary Trump, his niece, has said that there are no redeeming qualities. And she should know. She's in the family. And there's no redeeming qualities about Trump. And everything that they try to accuse Joe Biden of, it's just projection. You know, it's all just projection. Because they accuse Biden of being a criminal, and Trump is the criminal. You know, it's disgusting. And most of us in the chat, like I say, we know this, and we're going to be voting for Biden probably, right? But we got to convince that big group of these undecideds or unaffiliated independents. We got to break through that barrier, and we've got to combat the mainstream media that really, as we see right now, they just are so one-sided about it, where they just won't. They make the issue of Biden's age the number one issue, and be damned that Trump is a rapist and a pedophile. Sally Blackburn says, Trucker John, give the finger to mainstream media. Fuck you, mainstream media. Steven Sayers, makes me sick that embassy is owned by a right-wing guy. Yeah. So Jolie's thinking fancy, and Lucky Star 8888, and Nick Rich for those contributions. See, I think maybe I can get this to expand a little bit. There we go. Let's put that up there. Little decoration there for the driver's lounge. Nick Rich says no redeeming qualities about DJT. Never has been. Yeah, he's just he's. It's like you would. If you knew the guy in real life, if I knew him in real life, I would not want anything with the guy. You know, I would not want to hang out with him. I would not want to have a beer with him. I would find him to be utterly a disgusting human being, you know, and that's what he is. Totally disgusting. Hey, there's Watusis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Joining us in the lounge. We're just going to shoot the shit. I'm going to drink a little coffee, try to get woken up. I'm trying to get woke. I need to get woke. I'm not woke enough, apparently. I do feel a little groggy this morning. I don't know. Nick Rich 56. He's selling $2 bills with his mugshot on it. Inmate number PO1135809. Pathetic grift. I think it should be inmate number POS. And then a bunch of numbers. Sally Blackburn, there you go. Jolie, like, subscribe, share. Big Hook's here. The media are stabbing Biden because if it bleeds, it leads. No, it's more than that. Attempted murder is a crime. You paparazzi scum. Your gotcha bullshit isn't appealing. Redirect efforts at Project 25, you idiot. But this is way beyond, this continuing, keeping this story about Biden's age and that he should step down, or should he step down or not. That's more than if it bleeds, it leads. You can say that for like the first few days after the debate. I would say yeah, but this goes beyond if it bleeds, it leads. This is them trying to actually influence the election, I believe, or at least they want to keep the horse race. They might not see it as them actually influencing who's going to win or lose, but they certainly want to keep it close. Nick Rich, well, wherever our kindness exists, there you go. And I'm all about the kindness. That's me, old Trucker John. Never a crossword. Never, I never say anything bad about anybody. Always full of kindness and love. Let's see. Steve's there. Noxan talking, saying hi to Big Hook. The Big Hook. Steve Sayers. I am number 6UL Deviate. MJ Daniel, I have reached my coffee limit for the day. All right then, time to switch to something else, I guess. Let's see. Lucky Star 8888. Notice Trump is hiding out in Mar-a-Lago after the debate and the release of the Epstein files, and now that more and more people are talking about Project 2025 and the U.S. Supreme Court decision. And good on everybody who is getting this Project 2025 out there and making it known. I think the more people that see that will be turned off by Trump and the Republican Party. Because it does take away things like Social Security. They want to take away Social Security. And there's a lot of these maggots that are on Social Security. So we should be hammering that home every single day. Project 2025, which is a right-wing, wet dream, would do a lot of things. And one of them is they want to eliminate Social Security. So tell every person you know that's on Social Security, especially if they're a Republican or a right-winger, that's what's going on. And these Epstein files, that needs to be just as much out in front and center. And I just saw a headline where, what's her name, Ghislaine Maxwell, says she's going to talk and spill the beans. I hope they have her under protective custody. Now, this is not a Bill Barr DOJ. As much as we shit talk Merrick Garland, maybe she's a little bit safer hands with the Trump administration. Certainly, then with Biden administration, than with the Trump administration. I hate when I keep mixing up their names. I hate that. So all this shit needs to come out. All this Epstein shit needs to just be front and center. The Project 2025 front and center. Like I say, if they're going to talk about Joe Biden's age and that he should possibly step down because of age-related problems, then they need to just as much, if not more, need to be putting out this, the Epstein, all the Epstein stuff, and the Project 25 and all that shit. All of that shit needs to be right there front and center, just like everything else. Keith Follett is here. Keith says that the press are in a feeding frenzy with their own bubble, within their own bubble. They're pretty despicable. And, you know, to tell the truth, guys, I don't even really watch them. I watch clips. You know, whenever a clip comes up on my YouTube feed here, and I'll watch maybe a little bit of a CNN clip or MSNBC clip, but I don't really even watch those shows. Lucky Star 88, I think Trump campaign don't want him outside of Mar-a-Lago to be forced to answer. That's true. They're keeping a real low profile, but they can't do that forever if they want him to continue to run, right? He's going to have to come out eventually. Come out wherever you are. Sally Blackburn, mainstream media makes a lot of money when they make it close. Yep, that's right, about the horse race. And that sucks, and it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. It should be about reporting the news and having some journalistic integrity. That's what it should be about. But woulda, shoulda, coulda, you know. Tawada 106 says, well, face it, America is a racist, fascist country. And I do take a little exception to that, because I am an American, born and raised here, and I love my country. But for me to say that there's no racism here and there's no fascism, fascist leanings and fascist, certainly where Trump was taking us is into fascism. We certainly have oligarchs. We certainly have the top 1/10 of 1% that has been so influential, probably throughout the history of the country. I mean, that's probably the founders, the founding fathers that we put on such a high pedestal, and in many ways deservedly so. But those were the top 1% of top 10% of 1%. My brain's not working. Of their day, most of them, maybe not all of them, but they were the big rich white landowners. Of course, the southern ones were slave owners. So yeah, I mean, we've had fascism, we've had racism, all the way up to this very single day. I don't like saying that it is a racist country or it is a fascist country, but it certainly is here, and has always been here, and has been a big stain on democracy, a big stain on what our Constitution is supposed to be proposing. But we're not a racist country or a fascist country. We have problems with those things being here. We've always had them, and we've been trying to deal with it to the point where we had a civil war over it. And that was over 50 years ago or whatever. So, and we still have issues that we are dealing with. And my only hope is that, excuse me, man, I'm having a morning here. Is that we just get better and better and better at eliminating, racism and fascism, as we go along here. Nick Rich says every election is a close race until the votes are counted, local, state, and federal. So vote blue. Yes, sirree. Vote blue. MJ Daniel, problem is that they have a cult mind and will never believe it until it happens to them. And even then, many of MAGA will refuse to admit the truth about DJT. Well, yeah, there's going to be a group that they're just so brainwashed, they might not be unbrainwashable. But hopefully we can peel away at that group. Trump, Lucky Star 88 says Trump lied during the debate, accusing President Biden of wanting to get rid of Social Security. Then Trump said he talked to Putin before he invaded Ukraine and knew Putin was going to do it. Yeah, and that's the things those things don't seem to get emphasized, right? It's all about Biden's gaffes, that he did. But they don't talk about, they don't bring that up, do they? And that's what we all need to do. It's just keep pointing out about how Trump, he projects. Everything is, every statement is a confession. I think Malcolm Nance is saying, I cannot talk. And it's all projection. So much projection. So much projection. Let's see. Roxanne Armfield, a small minority, 2116. We are not perfect country. But yeah, we're not perfect. And I'm not sure if it's a small minority. I mean, it might be a big minority, but at least at certain times. But yeah, I mean, but I understand 2116. I can't deny. No one can deny that we have a problem with racism in this country. To this very day, we still have it. And we have a problem with fascists that want to take over. And with oligarchs who are always, trying to put their, their thumb on the scale or whatever, right? We can't deny that we've got that problem. And we always have. 2106, okay. I don't expect perfection. I only want better than people wearing the flag of my country as fucking clothing. No, I understand. 2106. I mean, you're not wrong entirely. I just don't like saying that when you say America is a fill in the blank. I don't. I think we have good and we have bad. Like anything, Lucky Star 8888 says the media should be reporting. By the way, Lucky Star 8888, I don't think I've ever seen you in here before. So I just want to, if I didn't welcome you properly, I want to say thank you for being here. And thank you for the super chat and everything else, but thanks for being here. I hope you like, subscribe, and share and all that good stuff. But I said the media should be reporting on economic growth as return to manufacturing jobs. Yes, I mean, all these great economic these jobs reports that come in every month. The right wingers, you can tell they hate reporting it, but they report it. And all these great economic numbers, jobs coming back, reshoring and bringing jobs back that we thought would never ever come back again are coming back, and that is Joe Biden's record. That is about running on the record. Walter Makarovich, Sugar John, just forgot to tell you, thanks for saying hi when you were in Ojeda Live. The Major is a good 30-minute show. Oh, yeah. Hi, Walter. Yeah, I saw you in there. And I usually watch Ojeda. A lot of times I'm lurking. Sometimes I'll just come in and I'll say hi real quick. But yeah, Ojeda, he's his show is just a real tight 30 minutes to the point. You got to love it. Ojeda, lifelong military guy, and he runs his show like a military operation. I mean, he gets in, he gets out. It's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You get 30 minutes of, just some hard-hitting facts. I love the show, and I love Ojeda. He's a great guy. Big Hook Project 2025, in no-fault divorce. Ban on abortion, contraceptives, elimination of unions and workers' protections, raise retirement age, cut Social Security, Medicare, and Obamacare, raise prescription prices. In fact, Big Hook, I've got a little meme on that too. I stole this one. I lifted this one from Kathy Griffin on Twitter, RX, whatever the fuck it's called, right? And so I guess I didn't really, I didn't crop it. I just took a screenshot of it. I guess. Was it at 1040? That doesn't seem right because I was driving at 1040. Anyhow, I don't know. But look at there. There is some stuff right there. Some sort of highlighted bullet point type of thing of what Project 2025 does. Some really awful things there that we don't want to happen. Here, maybe, can I move this over a little bit? Maybe. Yeah, look at there. And it's still so small for me, I can't read it. Let's see, maybe I can go to full screen here. Here's a little rundown of Project 2025. Takes away reproductive freedom nationwide. So it's a nationwide abortion ban. They want to do Project 25, use the presidency for revenge on Trump's political and personal enemies. You know, he's very vengeful, very vindictive, and Trump, if Trump is reelected, you better believe he's going to go on this revenge tour. Project 2025 terminates the Constitution. They don't love the Constitution. These fucking maggots, these right wingers, these Trump humpers. They talk about originalism and all that kind of shit. They don't give a fuck about the Constitution. And Trump has even said that he would like to do away with the Constitution. 2025, Project 2025 consolidates power in the Oval Office. Everything will be, it'll be a dictatorship. There won't be 3 equal branches of government. It will be all from the Oval Office. Project 2025 cuts democratic checks and balances on presidential power. That's pretty much what I just said. There will be no 3 equal branches of power. Project 2025 gives handouts to the ultra wealthy paid by working families. It's just more of the, wealth being taken from the lower and middle class and working class and going up to the wealthy. Transfer of wealth to them, from us to them. Project 2025, it puts more guns in schools because they want to arm teachers. Their solution is just more and more guns. That's just, it's just everyone should be armed. The custodian, remember they were talking about the custodian should be armed. The teacher should be armed. Let's just arm everybody. Instead of putting in some, really meaningful gun safety laws and, things that the overwhelming majority of Americans are in favor of, background checks, universal background checks, and assault weapons banned. A lot of people, I think there's a majority that are in favor of that, if I remember correctly. Just these common sense, gun sense laws. No, we're going to arm the janitors and we're going to arm the teachers. Project 2025, it says build huge camps to detain suspected illegal immigrants while they wait to be cruelly deported and rip families apart. Yeah, they're going to continue to take children away from their families, rip them apart. They're going to continue to just have these big detention camps, and it's not going to just stop at illegal immigrants. I mean, they'll probably start putting liberals in there too. Project 2025 reinstating the ban on patriotic transgender Americans serving in the military. So yeah, they of course they hate LGBTQ plus, particularly the T part of the LGBT. They have a special hatred for that, for the T, and that can be borne out by we see the crime statistics, the violence that is carried out against transgender people is just far and above everything else. The murder rates and everything is just horrible, and so they're just, of course, they're gonna just put some hate in there for them on here. Also, Project 2025 dismantling the Department of Education and attempting to, claw back Biden's student loan forgiveness. Yeah, so they want to, Donald Trump has said he loves the poorly educated. Of course, for them, for their kids, for the rich will always be able to go to the best schools, get the best education. But for the masses, basically, all they want you is just to know enough to operate a machine or operate whatever the whatever they need you to operate, and that's good enough. They don't want you to be smart enough to figure out, who to vote for, or to be informed about what's going on in government. They just want you to be smart enough to operate whatever machinery you need to operate. Project 2025, roll back all the progress we've made on tackling climate change. Yeah, we're going to just stay on. They want to just keep on fossil fuel. The fossil fuel industry, I'm sure, is a big backer. Of course, the fossil fuel industry over the decades have pumped in millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in their misinformation campaigns and their influence campaigns and everything they do to try to denounce or put anything about climate change and global warming, try to put a bad spin on any of that. The fossil fuel industry has spent millions and millions of dollars and who knows how much time into that. So they don't like the idea of getting off of fossil fuels and getting into green renewables, even to their own detriment. And of course they promote that it's just a big hoax or whatever. But so that's just some of the stuff there for Project 2025. That's boiled down from a 900 plus page manifesto is what it is basically. Okay, so I kind of missed a lot on the chat, but I'm just going to keep going here instead of going back. Otherwise, I'll always be, way behind, I guess. Lucky Star 8888 says Republicans and their billionaire donors have been trying for over 40 years to get rid of the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act and changing voting age, strip women's rights and education. It almost sounds like hyperbole when we say that they want to take away women's rights to vote and and black people's rights to vote while we're at it. And there's a video clip I saw recently where these maggots or whatever they were talking about and trying to say it like in a joking way about women shouldn't vote or they should get rid of their right to vote. But it's one of those things where they're joking, but they're not really joking. You know what I mean? They would love nothing more. Like I've said, they're not taking us back to the 1950s. They want to take us back to the 1850s. They really, really do. And it's alarming. And this is the kind of stuff that needs to be front and center. This is the kind of thing that, okay, Joe Biden's old. Okay, move on. Next. And then, what is Trump promoting? What is the Republican Party all about? And it's this shit here, this Project 2025. Really, really destroying America. This destroys America, Project 2025. This will not be the United States of America anymore. This truly will be Gilead. This truly will be just an autocracy. Nick Rich says they plan to keep the population ignorant by denying them the facts, a decent education, brainwashing 101. Big Hook, 2025 bans Muslims from entering the country, pack all the courts with right-wing lunatics, in birthright citizenship, mass deportation of immigrants, and camp internment of homeless in FDA, EPA. Yeah, they don't like any of the agencies. And even NOAA, for God's sakes, just because NOAA, it dares to talk about climate change and global warming, but NOAA is so vitally important to our shipping, across the oceans. But as Nick was saying, as Big Hook was saying, both of you were saying, but talking about the 2025 ban of Muslims, and people say, Biden's going to lose Michigan because the Muslims are upset with his handling of Palestine in Gaza. Do they know? And if they don't know, I don't blame them because the media doesn't talk about it. But they know that this is what the right wingers, they want to ban. They're not the Muslims' friends. The right wingers and Trump, they hate the Muslims. Joe Biden doesn't hate Muslims. He's in a precarious situation. Israel is an ally, and they're a country that we've helped to support, and we've helped them militarily because we think it's important, especially after World War II and the Holocaust and all that. Does anybody remember the Holocaust? So we have invested 70 plus years of keeping Israel's, helping keep them safe. Now Israel has a nutbag of a prime minister or premier or whatever the fuck they call him. I'm so bad at this. And I'm talking about Netanyahu. He's Israel's version of Trump. He's as corrupt motherfucker as there is, and he's really, I think, botched this whole thing. I think Israel had every right to defend themselves. They have every right to defend themselves. They have every right to go after Hamas. I think they've just been really super heavy-handed, and I realize that Hamas, they use the Palestinian people as human shields. They set up their operations around hospitals and schools. And I realize that makes it extremely difficult to fight them. But having said all that, I think that Netanyahu is not really going about it in the best way. And so that puts Biden in a tough spot. Because we've always had deals where we send them military aid and I think other aid, right, besides military aid, and so some people will say, well, that should just be stopped. You're helping with this genocide or whatever, which it's not really a genocide, but so yeah, that puts them in a tough spot. It's a tough, delicate spot that takes adults to work on and figure out. Donald Trump, on the other hand, he even said, I think in the debate, and he said this in other places, he would just let Netanyahu go in and finish the job. That's Trump's words. That Netanyahu should be allowed to just go in and finish the job. Finish the job. So it doesn't sound like these Muslims in Michigan would be on board with that, because it sounds to me like finishing the job, it doesn't sound like there's much care being taken about civilians, right? Civilian life. Sally Blackburn, they want to get rid of the EPA. Yep, as Big Hook there said. Lucky Star 8888. That's why I changed my registration from Republican to Independent, and now I'm a full-on ride or die Democrat. Well, good for you, Lucky Star. That is very. That does give me hope to hear that there are people that do change. Because a lot of times we just write it off and say, okay, the Republicans, they're not going to change, or a person who says this, they're just lost. Or whatever, and Lucky Star 88 is a testament to the fact that that's not always true, and that so I'm glad to see that you were able to get out of that Republican Party and now you're a ride or die Democrat. I think that's really awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And that's how we win. It's by carving away. Roxanne Arfield, your cat is so cute, Fancy. Fancy has a cute cat. I've seen the videos, or I've seen on the channel. Right, there's pictures, there's some footage of the kitty. By the way, that we need to get Fancy to 50. I don't know what the count is. I think we're still trying to get Fancy to 50. So at some point, we might get a link to Fancy's channel, and you guys can go and subscribe. And we're trying to get Fancy to 50 subscriptions. Nick Rich says, we're talking to ourselves when John skips so much. Speed reading course coming up, John. Well, no, I skipped because I was going over the Project 2025 bullet points there. So it really had nothing to do with my speed reading or lack thereof. And guys, I can't always read every single chat. I'm so sorry. If I skip over you, don't take it personally. Please don't take it personally. It's just the way it goes. I cannot read every single chat, every show. If I go off on a tangent or something. William, they want to outlaw porn, erection deniers. And if that doesn't piss off a big segment of society, then I don't know what will. Tim Nelson's here, one of our Tims. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday back at ya. Thanks for being here, Tim. Rob Saunders, it says, if a bad guy enters the school and starts shooting, it's already too late. Big Hook 2025 ban all African-American history, condemn single mothers while defending traditional families. On and on and on it goes, right? Lucky Star 88 says, Pamela, thank you. I haven't been a registered Republican for 35 years, and I just changed my registration from independent to Democrat 6 months ago, but I've been voting mostly Democrat for 30 years. Awesome. Hey, there's Jolie. She got that link in there for Fancy. Before I just said it, so Jolie was already on it. Yeah, let's get Fancy to 50. That's my little alliteration I'm so proud of. Get Fancy to 50. Michael McAndrew says, yep, John. I'm not sure because, like I say, when I'm behind, I don't know what those always refer to. But I'm just going to say, yeah, yep. Sally Blackburn, total unregulated greed. Yeah, they don't want any regulation. These top 1%ers, these big corporations, these big uber giant national corporations, they don't want any regulations. They don't want any taxes. Big Hook, check your registration and get your paperwork in order. Don't let anyone steal your vote. I always say go to vote.org. There are plenty of other places to go to, but vote.org will get you to the link for whatever state you're living in. And you can check your registration. I love it here. I'm in Nevada. Nevada sends me updates automatically. They'll say, you look good, your registration's good, or we sent you out your ballot information, it's in the mail. And whenever I vote, they're like, hey, we received your ballot and it was counted. So Nevada's doing really good. I know I'm a little upset with Nevada when I hear about the polls and that Trump is leading. But as of today, we've got a pretty good, State Department, or the Nevada State Department or the Nevada AG office, whoever runs the voting is doing a pretty good job. So hopefully we can stay at least somewhat purple. I think we are pretty much blue, at least in terms of our senators and most of our House reps. We've got a Republican governor, and I'm not too crazy about. So I don't know if that makes us purple, but we're if we are purple, we're more bluish purple, and hopefully we can rally around. I know we have an Indivisible group here. I'm a member on the Facebook page of the Indivisible, and I've never gone to any meetings or anything, but maybe I will. I know there was a call to do some, phone banking or whatever. I was thinking about getting in touch with them and doing that, try to do my part to help us get Joe Biden at least winning Nevada. Because right now, as far as I know, we always talk about the polls and how we don't really trust them. So, but in either case, whether it doesn't really matter. We need, at least me here in Nevada, and the rest of us Democrats, we need to work hard to get votes for Joe Biden here. I would love for him to carry the state. I really kind of hate thinking that the state that I'm living in would vote for Trump, would go to Trump. Fancy says, I need to get to 50. I'm at 31. We're getting there. 19 to go. Fancy says, I was thinking about that I'm going to order a new birth certificate. Okay. Jolie says, let's get Fancy to 50 subs. Nick Rich, let's get Fancy to 50 so she can live stream. Sally Blackburn, it's suspicious to me Netanyahu needed a deflection in October 7th, gave it to him. Yeah, there's a lot of suspicions with Netanyahu. Fancy says, yes, I'm going to live stream at night. All right. I'm looking forward to it. Big Hook, use Blue Voter Guide. Yeah, that's right. Big Hook talks about that. And we've had that linked before, the Blue Voter Guide to maximize your ballot and to get your local government fixed as well. Thanks for that, reminding us about that. That's a good one. Lucky Star 8888. Netanyahu was funding Hamas to Qatar. Him was having Qatar give Hamas billions of dollars, even after he was told from his intelligence that Hamas was planning an attack. Yeah, Netanyahu is he no good. He no good. He no good. He believes he belongs in a prison just like Trump does. But like I said, that doesn't take away from the fact that I think we should be supporting Israel and they have a right to defend themselves. Because I think it's more than just Netanyahu's involvement. Hamas has been around for a long, long time, and their stated goal has always been to, annihilate all Jews. Hey, there's Paul Mannion. I was going to go into my English accent, but then I decided I said I'm not going to do English accent anymore for Paul because I'm not sure. I think Paul might be offended, and so I just do a regular old American accent. So for Paul says, "Hello, TJ and truckers. Good news. It's raining again. Nothing changes weather-wise. Things can only get better." And then a bunch of emojis about a heart with a Band-Aid on it. Is that broken heart? I don't know. And then crazy, looks like crazy emoji, thumb up, British flag, American flag, rainbow flag, and then a heart that has like a little plus mark on it. So there you go. Fancy says, hi, Paul. Lucky Star 88. Let's not forget, it took Netanyahu over 18 hours to send police and military to help the people of Israel who were being murdered, raped, and taken as hostages. Israel is smaller than New Jersey. And it reminds me of when Trump just sat for 6 hours and during the Jan 6 thing. They are cut from the same cloth. They're both despicable. And what happened in Israel, it was even worse as far as, it's been worse than Jan 6 in terms of, the death toll on both sides. And I'm not saying both sides are good people. I'm just saying, death toll. Fancy says, don't believe the polls. We take those with a real grain of salt, right? But still, it is something to at least talk about Nevada, because I've had people in Nevada that as customers, as riders in Uber that are locals, and they don't seem to either know much about the presidential election, or they don't care, or they seem to be touting Trump. It's really weird and a little scary. Hey, Bob Barnum is here. Bob, good to see you. Let's see. As a former regulator, all regs do is give big business a leg up. And yet, all they do is shit talk them, seems like. Jolie says, hi, Paul Mannion. Raining here today, too. So I guess Indiana is raining. Maybe no pool time today, huh, for Jolie. Fancy is jealous of the rain. I am, too. But we need some rain out here. It's been so hot. Oh, yeah, I didn't give you my report. Now it's 10:16. We've been on for about an hour. A little over an hour and 8 minutes, I guess. It is already today 102. We're supposed to get reach a high, it says 115. And we have been running about 13 to 15 degrees above average. people say that this is normal, these 115s and 118s and 119s. And I would say that this is the new normal. I think I talked about this on the last show. This does seem to be the new normal. But if you go back to 1970, which is what my weather app, when it gets these averages, it's going back to 1970, which is about 54 years. So it has, in 54 years, we've gone up. Our temperatures are at about a 13 to 15 degree average higher. And that does correspond with my memory of things, because I've lived in this desert my entire life, and I grew up in California, about a 2.5 hour drive from here. It's the same Mojave Desert, and also we've been coming up to Las Vegas, my family and I, since the '60s, and I really didn't notice these type of temperatures in July and August. These 118s, 119s. Maybe officially it didn't, we haven't had a 120, but I remember the airport was reporting 122 degrees a couple of summers ago, and they had to shut down the airport for a while because the airplanes couldn't land, because when they did try to land, or the tires were sinking into the tarmac because it was so hot that it just made the tarmac this like pliable, Play-Doh or whatever. And so it does correspond with my memories of the summers not being as hot as they have been for the last 5 to 10 years, I would say. The last 5 to 10 years, we've been seeing almost every summer in Vegas. And Vegas has gotten hotter than even where I was from in Apple Valley, and in the last 30 years in the Palmdale area, which is about couple hundred miles from here. Yeah, more, about 250 miles from here, I think. And so that does kind of go along with my memories. Like yeah, it would get hot here in summer. It'd be 105, 108. You might say 110 or 111 a couple times here in July, a few times in August. But those were the extremes. That was the spike of it. And it wasn't like every day. But now we're getting these 115s, the 119s, like every single day of July. And it's probably going to be every single day of August. So I guess what my point is that this is the new normal. Even though it says we're 15 degrees above average, this is probably the new normal now. And it all ties in with global warming. And we go back to Project 2025, where they want to denounce climate change. They want to drop NOAA. They want to drop any type of move towards green renewable energies and getting us off of fossil fuels. So you think it's hot now, you ain't seen nothing yet. If the Republicans get in power and they're able to do some of these things they want to do, they will kill green renewable energy as much as they can and just keep us burning fossil fuels and just continuing to contribute to heating up the planet. If that's not a reason enough to not vote for Republicans, then I don't know what is. I don't know what is. And that's just the one thing. And then we have all the other things with the reproductive rights and all these other things that we talk about. And that's just one issue, the climate issue. Big Hook says, if your married name is different from your original registered voter name or driver's license, okay, yeah. In other words, keep checking your registration. Make sure it's updated. And there's Jolie. She's got the link there, vote.org. HTTPS www.vote.org/. Just make sure, you check it out and make sure you're registered and make sure you can vote. Rob Saunders says the pro-Palestine encampments at Ontario universities are coming down. I get where the students are coming from, but they failed to acknowledge the things Hamas did on October 7th. To me, that's a problem. Yeah, you can't. And taking the whole Netanyahu thing out of it, just you can't. If you're not including Hamas and their part in this, then you're not being genuine. and as a lot of these protesters were being disingenuous, I think, by leaving out the fact that Hamas is a terrorist organization. They've been in existence for decades and decades, and their stated goal is to eliminate all Jews. And what they did on October 7th, whether it was getting backing from indirectly from Netanyahu, but there's all kinds of groups. There's through Iran, and there's even probably a Russian connection. You know, you can't just say that it's all, you know, Israel bad, Israel bad, Israel bad. You've got to acknowledge the fact that Hamas, they did this on October 7th, and if they hadn't, we wouldn't be having this Gaza thing going on right now. MJ Daniel, we have another asshole Republican former sheriff, Dave Reichert, running for governor here in Washington. We are solidly dim, but I am still nervous. I don't think there are any safe dim states these days. That's why, yeah, you got to always be vigilant. Always check your registration. Always vote. Get out the vote. And get out the information the best you can. Lucky Star 8888 says, MAGA morons are so willfully ignorant because they believe Trump is going to build a dome all around the United States and its territories that span all across the globe. Yeah, right. Who's going to pay it? And, you know, I don't know if it even is possible. Michael McAndrews, Netanyahu. And there's Jolie. We've got the link to the Blue Voter Guide. Check that out. I think that's good advice from Big Hook. MJ Daniel, Israel and the whole region would be better off without Netanyahu. Yes, absolutely. Netanyahu belongs in jail. Lucky Star 8888, I'm pro-Israel, but as far as the Middle East, I guess, I'm so sick and tired of it. I know. I'm 63 years old, and the Middle East has always been fighting, and it's always through my life, and of course, even before then. And I think we're all just sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it. And, you know, there needs to be, at least at the very least, you know, I'm not an expert on all this stuff, but there needs to be at least a, you know, a two-state solution and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, it gets, yeah, you know, the Middle East, it gets very, very, we're just tired of hearing about it. You know, for God's sake, stop it already, you know? Just get along over there, for God's sakes. Sally Burton, I think Putin is the agent of chaos. Yeah, like I said, there's a Russian connection to this Hamas invasion. And that could be, I think, you could take that, follow that back to Donald Trump and to Jared Kushner. You know, leaking information to the Saudis from Kushner and Trump, you know, just telling Putin everything, his little, you know, their little pillow talk. You know, it all kind of goes full circle. Fancy says it's 70 degrees in LA right now. Hey, did I skip Silver Girl? Hey, there's Silver Girl, raining in Chicago. Thanks for that update, Silver Girl. Good to see you. Thanks for being here in the chat and checking out the show. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. MJ Daniel, these temps used to be an outlier, but they are becoming the normal. Like I said, this is the new normal for this time of year now in Vegas. And people want to say, oh, it's always like this, that this has always been this way, but really it's not. If you look at the averages, we're 15 degrees above average. And I can remember from living here that, yeah, we would have 115 degrees every now and then, maybe a couple of days here, a couple of days there. But now it's like every day in the summer, in July, and even our June was really hot. But the new normal seems to be July and August. It's going to be triple digits and close to 120s almost every single day for 2 months. And that's not normal. And that's not the way it used to be. Going back to the 60s and 70s and 80s and even into the 90s, like I said, there'd be a few 115s and 116s here and there in July and August, but it wasn't like every single day. It was more like 108, 109, 105, stuff like that. And but people just we've gone through a few of these summers now like this, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's always this way. It's always been this way." No, it hasn't always been this way. It's getting worse. It's getting hotter. Is my point. MJ Daniel, okay, I read that one. Lucky Star 888. I gotta go. Keep up the fight, Trucker. Well, thank you so much, Lucky Star, for being here. Good to see you. And thanks for the super chat. And Lucky goes on to say, my father was a grain buyer and owned his own trucking business. God bless him. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, God bless your father. And thanks for being here. I hope to see you come back again. We're here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesday, Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thursdays usually around 3 p.m. Pacific time. And Saturdays usually around 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I hope to see you back in the chat. You're a welcome member here. I don't know if you're a member. Well, yeah, you're a member. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lucky Star. Jolie says, no pool today. I have to do actual chores today. Boo. It's chore day for Jolie. But if it's raining, you might as well get your chores done. Get them chores done, Jolie. Roxanne says, the weather bug predicted the temps will be in the hundreds all week. Nick Rich, the new normal, it sure doesn't feel normal. Well, this is the new normal. That's because it doesn't feel like it because it's new. Big Hook, hot and muggy here in Vancouver, BC. Fancy, it's appointment making day for me. Paul Mannion, we're just going to talk in a very American voice for Paul Mannion. It's incredible. This is how Paul Mannion would sound if he was an American. It's incredible to me that we have very accurate temperature records for over a century, and the climate change deniers say it's just natural normal. It's incredible to me too. You can hold up a chart from when the Industrial Revolution started, and we started burning more and more fossil fuels, especially in the early 1900s. And in the 1900s, our fossil fuel consumption or usage on the chart, it just keeps going up, 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 up. And then you can have another chart of average temperatures in the world, and especially in industrial nations, and they're going up, and they're like this. I don't know. They just kind of correspond with one another. And a lot of people say that what is it? Causation doesn't cause causation. No, whatever that thing is. And then it's not scientifically, it's not like proof that chart alone isn't proof. But to me, it says a lot. As just being a layman, when I see that chart, it says a lot. Because it does correspond. Our rise in temperature corresponds with our rise in fossil fuel usage. And we have over 100-year chart that shows it. Lucky Star 888 says, Russia wants global warming because they want the Arctic front to melt and wipe out thousands of miles of land clear down to the Suez Canal so they can control the new shipping lanes in the Arctic. Yeah, it's so sick, isn't it? Like, the world be damned as long as we can make money. Paul Mannion says, we have the knowledge and technology to do something about this, but only if the whole world works together. We got to work together. Absolutely. Fancy says, what's the normal time it stops? The heat? Well, like I said, traditionally, July and August have been the hottest months. But sometimes you get an Indian summer, they call it, and we'll have a hot September, even a hot October, but not as hot as July and August. It tapers down. But we out here in the desert, we've had 100-degree days in September and 100-degree days in October. But now it's just, what are the averages? You got to look at the averages. Michael McAndrews, it's getting hotter here since at least the last 30 years. And yeah, it's been getting hotter even here for the last 30 years, but it's been so incremental, and that, like I say, that chart of our temperatures going up, it's been for many years just so incremental and tiny that it was kind of not noticeable. But I would say in these last 5 to 10 years, or at least here in Vegas, it's been spiking up at a faster rate. So yeah, it's been on an upward climb, like you say, for the last 30 years. But I would say these last, especially 10 years, it's been going up even faster. Jungle Jane, that's what I said almost, laughing out loud. Hey, Jungle Jane, I don't know if I missed your earlier, if you post or not. Jungle Jane, I've lived in Michigan 65 years. It's hot and humid all summer now, almost as bad as Florida. Wow. Hey, Jungle Jane, thanks for being here. If I didn't say hi to you earlier, thanks for being here and contributing to the chat. It's always appreciated. That does help with the algorithm too. So the more you guys chat, the better for the show. Sally Blackburn says all evil leads back to Putin. It does. It seems like it does, doesn't it? We talk about this shit. We talk about Trump and all this shit, and whether it's Ukraine, of course, that's a direct thing. But even indirectly, Gaza, whatever there is, voter misinformation here in the States, it all goes back to Putin. Putin has his dirty little fingers in everybody's pie, and man, the sooner we can be rid of him, the better the world will be. But you always think about what's going to replace him. Is it going to be something better or something worse? Hopefully, something better. Fancy says, I've only seen snow on the ground. Wait, I've only seen snow on the ground. I've yet to see it fall in person. Really? Fancy, you need to go up to the mountains. You're in California. You got mountains. The great thing about California, especially Southern California, is in the same day, you can go surfing in the morning and you can drive up to the mountains and go skiing in the afternoon. And then you can drive through the desert and look at some coyotes all in the same day. That's the great thing about California. Hey, Kim Chi is here. Good to see Kim Chi. Says, conveniently forget that Palestine has had their land seized and their people subjugated for 50 years, and we are the ones who put them side by side. Well, like I say, it's been for my entire life, not only the Palestinians and the Israelis, but everyone's been fighting over there. Iraq and Iran, Shiites and Sunnis. It's all horse shit. It all comes down to these stupid goddamn religions. Just stop it already. Stop it already, please. We're sick of it. I'm sick of it. You're sick of it. We're all sick of it. We're all sick of your stupid fucking bickering over your stupid religion. And that, in some cases, the religion is a sort of a pretext, but still, I think we're all sick of it. Of the Middle East and all their bullshit. Hey, there's Upgraded. Trump's VP pick is David Koresh. Hey, Upgraded, good to see you. Thanks for being here in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button for me, subscribe and share and all that good stuff. I haven't heard any news. I think I heard someone, David Koresh is dead, right? But I thought they were going to, they brought up, who's the KKK guy as being his running mate, and someone just threw the name out. I thought it was kind of funny. Hey, Marie G and Greco is here. Hi, Trucker John, Jolie, and all you beautiful, smart people. Well, thank you, Marie, for being here. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us a little bit and chiming in. Paul Mannion says, "Hi, Fancy. Yes, it's already affecting our coastline. We've got a lot of erosion on our coastlines. Robert Murdick said last year, all we have to do is move inland. Problem solved." Paul Mannion, if you ever wondered what you would sound like if you were an American, that's how you would sound. Sally Blackburn, I thought I heard that Jared Kushner wanted to develop. Oh yeah, well that was there's a video out there where he says that's prime. Was it coastline property or whatever, that they could develop. Yeah, that's all they think about. That's all they fucking think about is how they can make money off of something. They don't give a fuck about human life. They say they're pro-life, right? They propose to be pro-life, but they don't really give a fuck about pro-life. Especially once it's born, they really don't give a fuck. All they care about is developing good coastal property. Kimchi saying hi again, okay, to Paul and to me. Hello, Kimchi, back at you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Fancy, I was wondering about it. Yeah, go up to the mountains sometime when it's snowing. Well, preferably either after it's snowed and the roads are cleared, or maybe just before it snows. Because if you don't want to slap on chains and get stuck in the snow and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Fancy is got the, I think that's my, like, what the fuck emoji, I think. I don't know. Kimchi, 96 is not natural for Northern Virginia or Ohio or Pennsylvania. It's the new normal, Kimchi. Get used to it. Michael McAndrews, greenhouse effect is not good. Nope, the greenhouse effect. And I remember reading about that as a school kid back in junior high in the 70s, early 70s or mid 70s, whatever. Probably even before that, probably even in grade school, reading about the greenhouse effect. Let's see. Just looking down, everyone's saying hello to each other. Every time someone comes in, we get a whole new thing of greetings, which is great. Hugger greeter here. Did I say hi to Teresa earlier? Weren't you? Well, if you weren't in here earlier, and I didn't say hi already, I'm going to say hi again to Teresa. Or maybe not again. This might be the first time. But hey, good to see Hugger greeter. Jolie says, Trucker John, that would be me, has channel memberships and super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, I don't know what that is, and sharing the show. Thank you, Jolie. Buy me a coffee. And you can also go buy me a coffee over there at buymeacoffee.com. / J.R. Fowler. T, apparently. Thank you, Jolie, for putting that in there. Let's help to grow the show, keep the show going. Hopefully one day we'll do some more stuff. Maybe once it cools down, I will do some of those hikes I wanted to do out at Red Rock Canyon here. And maybe do some more walking around Vegas type stuff. But right now it's so hot, I have no desire. I really don't even leave this apartment until I go out to go driving at night for Uber. That's how bad it is. I don't even go check my mail. That's what a wussy I am, actually. Trucker John is a big old wussy, apparently. Especially in my old age. As I get older, I get wussier. Confession time. The Confessions of Trucker John. Kimchi, today 1:30 is my 420. Hey. Do what you gotta do. MJ Daniel, 1859, John Tyndall recognizes CO2 as a greenhouse gas. So yeah, we've got a long sort of data sheet going here. Kimchi says, 90 used to be once a year, now every day. Wow. See, like I said, the last 5 to 10 years, it's we've been heating up steadily, but I would say in the last 5 to 10 years, it's been accelerating. That's my Trucker John fancy analysis right there. That's some fancy analysis. I use my hand to chart our heating, planet heating. It does good. It does. You know, you don't see that on fucking Russell Brand. I don't know. You don't see that everywhere. Fancy says Putin is one evil guy. He is quite possibly the most evil person, right up there with Hitler, 56 Day Rich, Slava Ukraini. Absolutely, Slava Ukraini. Kimchi, do not smoke on the job, guys. Guys. Come on, guys. Don't smoke on the job. That's why I snort. Guys. Don O'Leary is here. Hey, Don, good to see you. Putin bombed a 600, yeah. And he's been doing that since day one. I remember when one of the very first days of the war, he hit a maternity ward. Remember? They were hauling pregnant women out, and a lot of them got killed. That Putin does not deserve the air that he breathes. Let's just put it that way. David Duke, Nick Rich. I think someone was saying David Duke, as a joke or whatever, but maybe it wasn't a joke. I don't know. Nick Rich, Jim Jones. Well, he's long gone from this world, thank God. Or thank one of Kimchi's, whatever. Just to keep things equal. Kimchi says Steve Himmler was reincarnated to be his running mate. Okay. Himmler. Nick Rich, Charlie Manson. Another dead asshole. Fancy says, I think Paul would have a cowboy voice. Oh. All right, then. I'm not sure what a cowboy voice is, but I'll work on it. Marie Jane Greco, I don't think he's going to pick a VP. I'm really behind in the chat because I was talking about VPs like 20 minutes ago. Fancy, they were floating. Yeah, I've heard Rubio come up. Kind of the two main ones now are Rubio and then that one guy, was it Burgum? Burgum still seems to be my pick because he seems to be sufficiently, kind of wimpy enough for Trump. Fancy says, wussier. Yeah, as I get older, I get wussier. Marie Jane Greco, that wasn't too long ago. Maybe I'm only a few minutes behind now. Marie Jane Greco, dictators don't need VPs, just loyalists. Yeah, he really doesn't want one. If he could run without choosing a VP, he would. But I think he has to. Roxanne Armfield, I wouldn't be surprised, Fancy. Miller is such a slimy slug. Keith Polite, greenhouse comes from everywhere. 11640. Yeah. Yep. Trump is his own little one-man greenhouse producer. There's Paul Mannion. I come from a council house estate in Oxford called Rose Hill, built in 1934. Always been a working class area. We moved in 1965. The old nickname was Redskin Village. Wow. That sounds a bit racist. We even changed the name of an NFL football team that didn't like that name anymore. I still think they should change it to the Commandos instead of the Commanders. Of course, Liberal Dan was first to chime in and say, well, if it was Commandos, then you'd be thinking that they're not wearing any underwear. And believe me when I tell you, those guys don't wear underwear. You wear unless you count a jock strap. They're wearing jock straps, but they're not wearing their tighty whities. I mean, they're probably wearing a jock strap and then some sort of I guess it's kind of like underwear. I take it back, but it's not your standard. You know, they're not wearing boxer briefs. They're going to wear a jock strap, and then you have these kind of shorts, like an athletic, tight fitting, kind of like Under Armour type of thing that you would wear, just because you got pads. If you're putting hip pads on in your uniform, so you want to have a little something there. But they are pretty much going commando, I would say. Although the jock, maybe they're not. Maybe I guess they're not really going. I guess because a jock is really jock strap is you're not commando. So I did, Liberal Dan, you're right. You're right. But I would rather them be called the Commandos than the Commanders, because whenever I hear the Washington Commanders, I just think of Handmaid's Tale and like as an homage to the Commanders from there. Boy, that was a world waste of time, probably. Nick Rich says somebody will cough up enough cash to be DJT's VIP, some oligarch. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary. I think Trump wants somebody that is just going to be pretty much like Pence, but Pence is off the list because Pence didn't actually go the whole 9 yards. And wasn't willing to sacrifice his life for Trump, so that automatically, disqualifies Pence from ever being anywhere near Trump again. But, Trump wants another Pence, but even more, I guess, malleable. Okay, so Roxanne Armfield says, so true, Trucker John. I don't know what that's in reference to because, like I say, I get behind in the chat and I don't know what those things are referenced to. But I'm just going to wholeheartedly agree that whatever I said it must have been true. Sally Backnumber, Me Too, Trucker John. Yeah, I don't know. That's what happens when I get behind. Kim Cheese, thumbs ups in all colors. Paul Mannion, I'd love to be a cowboy. All that denim and chaps. Oh, don't bear thinking about it. I love to be a cowboy. Fancy says, I knew it, Paul. Pamela Rubio is the weakest link. Jolie says, that's like Paul Manny. I guess that's a cowboy emoji. Rob Saunders, Red Rock Canyon is wonderful. We went there in early February 2023. That's probably when I'll be doing those hikes, when it's nice and cool. Hopefully before then. Maybe in September or October, if it cools down enough, I'll start doing some hikes out there. Don O'Leary, I think VP will be, Bergdom, that's what I was thinking of. He might just be wimpy enough and I said it earlier, why can't I say it now? But pliable, whatever, enough for Trump. In other words, enough of a kiss ass. Kimchi says, for your information. All right. Kimchi gonna explain it to us. For your information, redneck originally meant a worker with a red handkerchief around their necks, not a sunburn, which I always assumed. That sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, I always thought it was kind of like, like if you're out working in the field or farming or whatever, and you got a T-shirt on, and then your neck is exposed, and your neck gets like a big sunburn. But the red handkerchief makes sense because before they had sunscreen, that's what they would use for sunscreen. My name is Kevin Anderson. Hey, people. Hello, my name is Kevin. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping on by in the old Truckers Lounge as we shoot the shit, as I like to say. It's in my theme song about shooting the shit. Don O'Leary, Doug Bergnum, benign. Kimchi says, if he wants a quiet stooge, Rubio or Cruz both let him emasculate them. Yeah. And they would do it. I just don't think Trump likes them enough. You know, he really holds grudges, Trump does. But and this Bergman guy, I don't think he's ever said anything or done anything. So he's kind of like the perfect guy for Trump. Roxanne says, interesting, Kimchi. I always believe that too, about the redneck thing. Kimchi says, I know, right? Heard it on Randy's Labor News. Oh, from that dude. Is it Rick Smith? It was like, whatever he says. But he's good. He's good. Roxanne Arfield says, in fact, I always sometimes I fantasize like if I won the super lottery, what I would do. And one of the things that always comes up is I would start my own production company and make movies. And one of the things I would do, and I like to write and I like to direct, so I would probably write and direct one of them, but I would like to make a trilogy of about labor rights or about the labor movement. And like where it would start, the starting point of it, and I was thinking like, if I won the lottery, super lottery, I would get a hold of Rick Smith and I would ask him his opinion on like, if you were to do a trilogy of movies, of feature-length movies about the labor movement, like what would be the three sort of, big sort of points of the labor movement that you would start at and do it like a trilogy. So that's just one of my fantasies. I have weird fantasies. My other fantasy would be to do a trilogy of this whole Trump thing, and like I would do of this whole MAGA movement, and I would start with Bill Browder's Majinsky. Bill Browder wrote a book. Bill Browder, he was just on Phil Lipner's show, and I've known about Browder for a few years now because Randy Rhoads interviewed him a few times. This is like 5, maybe 10 years ago now. I don't know, probably at least 5 years ago, and so that's when they learned about the Majinsky Act and how Putin took all of Browder's money because he'd been over there and he was an investment lawyer or investment firm, and they made a lot of money over there, and then Putin confiscated all of his money, and then he hired a lawyer. The lawyer exposed all this shit, and then Putin had Majinsky arrested and thrown in prison where they beat him to death. Eventually killed him. And so my movie 1 would be the Bill Browder book. Number 2 would be the Steele dossier. The dossier, of course, that was first. Steele was hired first by, I think, it was Oppo Research, I believe, either by the Rubio camp or a couple of Republican camps, maybe, and then they got rid of it, and then Hillary Clinton ended up, that her name always gets thrown in there, where they hired him or whatever, but then they said we don't need it, or at least it was brought to their attention, and they're like, well, we don't need it, we have our own, and we think we're going to do well. And then Steele was like, hey, there's a lot of shit in here, and that's when he took that to, I think, the FBI or the DOJ or whatever, and say, hey, look, there's some stuff in here you guys should look into. There's some hinky stuff in here with Trump's involvement with the Russians. So number 2 would be the Steele dossier, and number 3 would be Trump, and it would be starting off with him coming down the escalator, and then we would have the whole Trump thing. That would be my other trilogy I would make if I won the Super Lotto, because it takes money, and I don't have really the time or the inclination to go and start a career in the movie industry. You know what I mean? I would have to be like win the lottery, type of deal to do it. But anyhow, we got Kimchi says Paul always says pay partners sound dumb, but that's the way they said it. Partner, hey, howdy, partner. Mad Max, Lovey Cree, hello, Mad Max, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in the old driver's lounge over here. Mad Max says, sorry I'm late. Where have you been, man? Had the internet guy upgraded our system. Now it goes so fast, the Cat 5 cables will melt from the speed. Laughing out loud. All right, now you're just zipping along on the internet superhighway. Hey, Sally Blackburn. Trump doesn't want to share the limelight, and he doesn't want any threats around him. If anyone that has any aspirations to take his place, he wants someone who's just completely content with being, his little whipping boy or whatever. Minus Kevin Anderson says, Kimchi, that's cowboy talk, partner. Keith Philippe, get the word out. Stop Project, hashtag Stop Project 2025. Absolutely. Paul Mannion, howdy, Minus Kevin, partner. Kim Shi says, amen, and Keith, and may all the gods bless Taraju Hansen. Yeah, Taraji, I know. I have difficulty with her name. I think Randy Rhodes was having difficulty with her name, or somebody was. But she's a very good actress. I've seen her in a lot of things, and she was warning everybody about Project 2025 and telling everybody to look it up. And she hit a really big audience. And someone reported that I guess it's on Google or whatever, but the inquiries or the searches for Project 2025 spiked right after she did that. So that was a great thing that she did. I think it's Taraji P. Henson or something like that. Kim Shi, Paul is a cowboy. You would know that if and you want late. Oh, if and you weren't late. If and you want late. If and you... No, I'm mixing up my accents. CN says, just in time to say bye. Bye. Have a nice day, everyone. Well, CN, thanks for stopping by. Wish you would have been here a little longer, but hey, better late than never, and every little minute or second is good to have you. Good to have you here. Thanks for coming by. We'll be back we'll be back Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time and 3 p.m. Pacific time. By the way, if you want to check back. And also check out my videos. I got lots of videos. I think I've got like 1,000 videos or something on my channel, going back 20 years, probably some of them. Barney Thompson says, hey, did anyone see that pic of Trump's plane parked near the Russian? Yes. Barney Thompson, by the way, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Welcome. Haven't seen you today, I don't think. But I did post that a few days ago on my show. The picture of Trump's plane parked next to the Russian plane at Dulles. Yeah. Yeah, we talked all about that a few days ago. See you, and thanks, TJ, and have a nice day. You too. Back at you. Have a good one. Hope to see you on the next one. William says, if Taylor Swift called out Project 2025, that would be a big deal. Well, the Taraji P. Henson one was a pretty big deal too. But yeah, Taylor Swift would be even bigger because she's humongous. She is humongous. Paul Mannion says, thanks, Cat Kimchi. Thanks for that. Howdy, partners. Hi at Mad Mac. Nick Rich is doing a bunch of emojis to see in. Looks like lots of love and hi and howdies. Fancy says that Saudi plane was also parked. Oh yeah, there was a Saudi plane that pulled up along there, huh? Wasn't there? Boy, isn't that interesting? You got the Saudis, the Ruskies, and Trump all together. They're like a little axis of evil right there. Mad Mac, they were transferring more top secret documents over to Putin from Trader Trump. I wouldn't put it past them. I would not put it past them. Kimchi says Saudis and Russians and Trump. Oh my, democracy goodbye. Saudis and Russians and Trumps. Oh my. Nick Rich, top of the hour. Top of the hour to you. Top of the hour to you. We're almost at 2 hours. We're almost at 2 hours, and what's going on, man? Almost 2 hours, and what? You haven't brought me on yet? What the fuck is this, man? What, I'm like, what am I, chopped liver now? I just got to sit around and just get a bake somewhere? You know, it's fucking hot outside. You had me outside all this time. I'm a cookie. I'm not a pizza, for God's sakes. It's already 150 gazillion degrees out there. And you're just now bringing me in? The hell kind of fucking shit show is this? Hey, where's that Nick Rich, by the way? Where's that guy? Hey, Nick. Beep, beep, beep. I'm blinking. I'm sending you Morse code, Nick. Yeah, look at there. Yeah, there it is. I'm not going to tell anybody else what that says. It's just between you and me, buddy. I'm doing Morse code. All right? Hey. Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, thanks a lot for leaving me out in the sun, you goddamn son of a bitch. Jesus H. Christ. No wonder I'm such a tough old cookie, keeping me out there in the sun. Like I'm just I don't know, an old cookie, I guess. All right, guys, look. I don't know what took place. I've been inside. I've been watching TV in the other room. And nice AC. I don't know. I didn't even know Tough Cookie was out there. All he had to do was ring the doorbell. Well, there's not a doorbell, but knock on the door. I would have let him in. I don't know what he's complaining about. He always likes to complain, but I guess, that's just the way some people are. But, hey, guys, I'm glad to see you all here in the chat. We're all chatting away, and you guys are awesome. And I just want you to know I'm feeling okay. I hope you guys are feeling okay. I hope we're all okay. We're getting along. And it's been a good day. I think everyone's getting along. And I really love seeing everyone just play nicely, I guess. And you have your opinions. And you guys are doing a good job. You guys are doing great. Just keep it up. Keep up the good work. Do your thing. Do that thing you do, Just be cool, comfortable, calm, relaxed, whatever, And we'll get through it. We're going to get through it. We're going to vote blue. I would say vote purple, but we don't want to be purple. We want to be blue. So just, make sure, check your voter registration, make sure you're registered. And hey, Nevada, I'm talking to you. Vote for Joe Biden. All right? Because that would make me happy, and I think it would actually make you guys happy too. So just vote for Biden, and he's much better than Trump. Trump is he's a criminal. He's a crook. I'm just going to say it. I don't really like to talk bad of people, but let's face it. Trump is evil. He's a pedophile. He's a rapist. Why would you want a rapist pedophile as the leader of your country? Why? I don't. So just don't. He's not cool. I know a lot of people I've heard from Trucker John in his car are speaking glowingly of Trump, like he's some sort of really cool kind of gangsta, kind of guy. And he's really rich. He's so super rich, and that's cool. No, the guy is a fucking. Oops, excuse my language. I shouldn't say that. But the guy is really just. He's just a crook. He's a criminal, but not a good, not like a cool crook. He's like a shyster. He's a con man. He's a grifter, and he just rips people off. He rips off old people. That's not cool. That's not cool, man. There's nothing cool and hip and gangsta about that. He's just a lying little con man. He's a weasel. Donald Trump's a weasel. He's not cool. He's not cool. So hope everybody here in Nevada and also all over the country, I would urge you to vote for Biden. He's old, but hey, man, he's doing a good job. Got some great numbers to back it up. So anyhow, I just thought I'd come in and say real quick, say hi. I didn't really appreciate Tough Cookie's tone. He really takes a bad tone, and it kind of. I think I just wanted to kind of offset that a little bit. So, but yeah, hey guys, thanks for being here. And if Trucker John lets me, as long as he lets me come in, I'll be here on the next one to say hi to y'all, to y'all, to all y'all. All right, guys, back to Trucker John, I guess. Where is he? Where did he go? Anyhow. I'm back. I'm here. I turned my back for 1 second, and these guys take over the show. Did we get a new sub from Sally Blackburn? Thank you, Sally. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You are awesome. Love to get those subs. Love to grow the show. CN says Hakeem is going online at W Post. Hakeem the Dream, our future Speaker of the House. We got Sally Blackburn. There was nary a word from mainstream media about the planes. Yeah, that's true. They don't cover anything, man. They don't cover anything that's going to put Trump in a bad light, it seems like, and they don't cover anything about Biden that puts him in a good light. It is so biased. It is so one-sided. It's despicable what the mainstream media is doing. It's despicable, Sally. And that's why you need to come here to the Trucker John channel, because we will talk shit about Trump without hesitation. We're not afraid to say that Trump is a rapist. We're not afraid to say that Trump is a criminal, convicted felon, 34 times, with more on the way. We're not afraid to say that. We're not afraid to say that Donald Trump is a fucking pedophile who raped underage girls. We're not afraid to say that here at the Trucker John channel. That's why you need to come here, like, subscribe, and share. Maria Jane Greco and Purple Beard Guy. Yeah, Purple Beard Guy. God, I thought he was going to do the whole show for a minute there. Roxanne, great show, Trucker John. Well, thank you so much. Fancy says, yes, it was Roxanne. Roxanne, see y'all later. Hey, see you this afternoon over there at the House Spark show, probably in that chat, probably what you're talking about. Nick Rich says the future's bright with Biden. Doesn't quite have a rhyme to it, but hey. William, see everyone next time. Hey, Just Saying says thank you. Well, thank you for being here. Thanks for being in the chat. I hope you like and subscribe and share. As Sally Blackburn has subscribed. Vote blue. No matter who is what I like to say. Kimchi, blessings all. I really wasn't signing off quite yet, but Sally Blackburn, she's so rich. He's so rich? Why is he always begging for money? It's a good question. It's a good question. He claims to be this multi-billionaire. You know, Ross Perot was a billionaire back in the 90s, and I think he's just self-funded everything. I don't remember him begging for money all the time. Every time you turn it around, trying to sell sneakers and all this kind of shit. So yeah, it's very questionable about Trump. But anyhow, we are at about the 2-hour mark, coming up here in 16 seconds. And I usually don't go much over 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, because I'm not sure how much you guys if you guys get sick of me or not. And so I might be signing off here in a few minutes. Pamela says, gotta go. Thanks everyone for a good time. Thank you, Pamela, for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and hope to see you on the next one, which will be Thursday. Keith Felice says Trump was Epstein's wingman. Doe 174. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, they hung out for years and years and years, and yeah, Paul Mannion, you need to keep the pressure on Trump. Where is the dirty bastard? God, it makes me angry, and I'm a long way away. And you're a long way away. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah. Well, Trump is... I think his advisors have been telling him to stay out of the limelight as much as possible, because they see what the mainstream media is doing to Biden right now, and it's creating some infighting and all that. So they want to not take away from that. You know. Just saying hi to Jolie. Kimchi says, well, some of us just got here. Yeah, that's true, Kimchi. It hasn't been 2 hours for you. You haven't gotten the full 2-hour treatment. Keith Lee says, Google Doe 174. So that was probably the Jane Doe. That's who at the time I think was 14. That alleges that Trump raped her. I believe she's the same now woman, right, who came out, I think it was in 2016. I think Gloria Allred was her attorney. I think they started to file a case, and they came out on it, and that poor young woman was getting so many death threats from MAGA and from the right-wingers. I mean, can you imagine the death threats and everything? So she pulled out of it. I think it's the same one. So I think she dropped the case and she just sort of just disappeared because she was in fear for her life. And that's what they do. That's what these fucking maggots do. They're disgusting. They're hideous. And they're led by a disgusting, hideous person in Donald Trump. He is the most disgusting, hideous that there is. Kimchi says, have a good day at Pamela. Yes, have a good day. There's Nick Rich gifting another membership. Thank you so much. And ta-da! Kimchi she got it. Kimchi is now a member. Thank you, Nick Rich. That's so nice of you. And I want to thank, we've got, while we're doing this, let me just, before I sign off, I want to thank Lucky Star 8888 for the super chat, $9.99. That was awesome. Lucky Star 88 was a former Republican many years ago, became an independent, and now is a true blue, how'd you say it? Democrat. A vote blue, no matter who, Democrat. So thank you so much, Lucky Star. Nick Rich is gifted 2 different times now for memberships, and Fancy gifted a membership. So thank you guys so much for that. That's really awesome. It does help the show. It helps us to grow and get big and strong. You can get big and strong when we grow up. And but thanks, guys. I appreciate it so much. Fancy says he raped little boys too. Now I haven't really dived into all this Epstein files. So yeah, I don't know, but that's really weird and gross. I mean, it's all gross, but I never heard. This is the first time I'm really hearing that he did that too. It's all, when you talk about underage kids, it doesn't matter if they're girls or boys. It's all gross. It's all rape. It's all disgusting. And just for that, alone, he needs to be. I think when you're raping children, you should be executed. I'm pretty much like anti death penalty in most cases, but when it comes to raping children, I'm all for death penalty. So Sally Blackburn, hashtag Doe174. Yeah, so let's check that out. Expose the truth. Let's expose it. Let's expose Trump. Paul Manning says, "Hello, TJ. What is the longest distance you drove without a stop? Do you still use the old tachographs? Anything with tacos, I will use. Well, let's see. The longest distance I drove without a stop, I know kind of early on I did some, to try to, maybe part of it was testing my stamina or whatever, maybe, and I think I did do some long, like you're not really supposed to. I don't know the distance, but hours wise, because you're allowed to drive 11 hours in a 14-hour period, and I think there was a couple of times where I just drove straight like 10 or 11 hours without a break or anything. Now that wasn't the norm. I pretty much was get up in the morning, drive 4 or 5 hours, take about an hour lunch break, and then drive another 4 or 5 hours. That's pretty much how I rolled. But there were some times where, like I said, I was just kind of testing what I could do. And I think I did do a couple times where I just drove like about 10 out, probably about a 10 or a 10 and a half hour stretch without a break or anything, just whoosh, when I was going like cross country or something. But that really was, like when I say 1 or 2 times, I mean 1 or 2 times. That was not the norm or whatever. And then, but there were some times where maybe I was behind schedule, something happened, and I might have to drive in 8 hours or something, like at a stretch without a break, and or maybe a very short, tiny break or something. But so whatever miles that would be, I think the most miles I ever put in one day, I think I may have broken 700 miles, maybe a couple times. That's pretty hard to do, especially if you're in a governed truck, or you're not able to go 100. There are some trucks that can go 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. I've never had a truck like that, but there was quite a few more instances where I had some 600 mile, 660 mile days. But I would say my normal day, if on a long day of driving, would be, between 5 and 550 a day. It was probably more my normal pace, miles wise. But yeah, there was quite a few times where I broke 600, and I broke 700. I think I did break 700 if I remember correctly, a couple of times. That was probably on those 10-hour days or whatever. Anyhow, Kimchi says, yes, Trump paid little boys millions of dollars. Wow. See, I didn't even hear about that. Just that alone. That should be front page, top story. Not Biden's old. We don't give a fuck how old Biden is. This is the shit that needs to be top of story. Top front page, top headline, first story in the news that Trump paid boys millions of dollars to have sex with them. That needs to be number one top story. And I don't know, wouldn't that get ratings if the mainstream media is all about ratings? Wouldn't that get you enough ratings? I mean, my God, that should not be overlooked. That should be not only, a deal killer for ever voting for that man for anything, but he should be immediately locked up and locked up in prison and throw away the key. But MJ Daniel says, would not surprise me. The GOP is a party of people like Josh Duggar. Yeah, Josh Duggar, who wasn't he the one he married supposedly like underage girls and got them pregnant and stuff. Kimchi says, is that a graph showing all the taco trucks? Oh yeah, the taco graph. Let's get back to that. I want one in my van. Yes, I'm all for taco graphs. If that's what that is. It shows all the great taco places. And I will go to each one of them. Because I love me some tacos. And today's Tuesday. So God damn it, I'm going to go over to Casa del Sabor and get me some tacos today. You betcha. You betcha. Hey, Jane Greco, I got to go. Love and peace to all of you. Hey, thank you, Maurice, for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I hope to see you right back here Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Fancy says, did you ever drive locally like a beer truck or something? No, I never did drive locally. Well, you know what? I did. I take that back. I didn't drive a beer truck, but I did drive. Hey, just saying, $5. Appreciate your info. And Humor TJ, great chat. How do you feel about Schwarzenegger? Well, I mean, I like Arnold. I'd never voted for him for governor. I thought that whole recall thing was ridiculous. I think he was a pretty shitty governor. He ran the state into so much debt. We've for many, many years, we talk about how California is like the 5th largest economy in the world. And for many, many years, I think my whole life, or most of it, California has always been one of the top economies in the world, top 10. And before Schwarzenegger took over, I'm not sure where we were at on that, as far as that is concerned, but we were probably 5th or 6th or 7th or whatever, largest in the world. And Schwarzenegger came in, did all that Republican bullshit that they do, ran us into huge debts. We dropped wherever we were, whatever place we were in the world economy. He dropped us at least 3 or 4 places down. And, so he was a typical, like I say, I think he's a nice guy. I don't think he's evil. I don't know. There are things that came out about him and his maid and all that stuff and having a kid with her. That aside, those are different type of, domestic, moral type issues. But I think it's, overall, I mean, I like his movies. I think he's a decent guy. He's not perfect by any means. We all have skeletons in our closet, I guess. But as a governor, as a politician, he was shitty. Not evil shit. He's not like a maggot or anything like that. But he just does the Republican thing where they run up debts and they do away with social safety net stuff and all that kind of stuff. And he really ran the country into the fucking gutter. And then Jerry Brown had to come back and turn his back around, and then Gavin Newsom. So anyhow, that's what I think about Schwarzenegger. I don't think he's a terrible person, but he's a terrible governor and a terrible politician because he's a Republican, and that's what they do. They when you take it to the national level, the White House and the U.S. Congress, that's what they do. They destroy economies, they ruin economies, they crash economies. And Schwarzenegger did the same thing on the California state level. We weren't entirely crashed, but we were headed that way, and he ran us into huge debts. Huge debts. But other than that, I got nothing to say. But anyhow, thanks for being here. Let's see. About the beer truck. Yeah, I did do some local stuff, but it wasn't a beer truck. I did do a little oil. I picked up recycled oil or old oil to go be recycled. It was a little 3,000 gallon tanker. I did that for a little. I've talked about that story. That was a whole story in itself. I did some sort of a few years where it was just sort of regional or temporary type of work. But pretty much from 2010 all the way to 2023, I guess, I was pretty much over the road, full-time over the road. Let's see. Fancy, I posted a list of these kids on Threads and they pulled it down. Oh, wow. Yeah, but we still gotta try to get the story out. This thing about Trump, his pedophilia and raping, it needs to be his top story. We can't let him get away with it. We can't let them run this guy. Oh, let's see, what is it? This guy, let's see. Yeah, this guy here, run Joe Biden's name in the mud because he's having a little bit of age issues and stuttering issues, but he has a great record. But yet there's Donald Trump who wants to do shit like this Project 25, and wants to get away with rape, and we just can't allow it. We can't stand for it. All of us need to help get the word out the best way we can. Hey, Delta Dawn is here. Hi, sorry I'm late. As I always like to say, and as my dad used to tell me, better late than never. So thanks for being here. I am going to button this up in a little bit here. We're kind of winding down. But thanks for being here. Always great to see Delta Dawn, because then now I have that song in my head for the rest of the day. Thank you very much. Delta Dawn, I want tacos. I'm gonna get me some tacos probably right after I end the show. I'm gonna brave the heat, get in the car, and I'm gonna drive over to Casa del Sabor. And if you guys are interested in what Casa del Sabor is, I do have some videos, I believe, of me eating tacos from Casa del Sabor. If you guys want to check out my videos, I've got I think thousands of videos on my channel. And it's not all just me yapping like this. There's trucking videos, and then there's hotel videos and restaurant videos. And, I'm not just a one-trick pony. I'm multifaceted. Nick Rich, 20 minutes past the hour, and I'm 5 minutes behind the chat, apparently. Fancy says, Rich, do you have one of those necklaces with a huge clock? Oh, yeah, what's his face? Just saying he took a very Republican stance. Yes, he ran as a Republican. But like I said, he's out of it. I don't think he's even in politics anymore, right? He's back to acting, and, so. Paul Mannion, love y'all. My American friends, take care, my lovelies. Partners. Paul Mannion, good to see you. Always good to see you in the chat. From across the pond, coming at you from across the pond. Thanks for being here. And Paul, we'll see you on next Thursday. Again, Julie is saying thanks to Just Saying. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh yeah, I'm going to give that a like and a heart. Thank you so much, Just Saying. Always appreciate that, the help, keep the show going and growing. And if you guys hit that share button, that helps us to get the show out. We didn't really have any trolls today. Trolls help with the algorithm. We didn't have Mike H, and we haven't had W in a while. Those are kind of our two resident trolls. I guess I need to do a better job because we're not getting trolls in here. Fancy says, I'll go look around. Do you have any ghost hunting videos? I do not. I've never been really a ghost hunter. Yeah, no ghost hunting. Paul Mannion, hi Fancy. I'd love to come to America again. Not been there since 1995. Fancy says, just don't go to Florida, Paul. Yeah, I would stay out of Florida, especially this time of year. It's hot and muggy and miserable. Jolie says, hey, Delta Dawn, my daughter's name is Willow Dawn. We've been singing Willow Dawn to the tune of Delta Dawn to her all her life. Put a little spin on it. A little spin. Hey, all right, guys. I guess we'll go ahead and put an end to this monstrosity known as the Trucker John live stream. I want to thank you guys all for being here. Again, thanks for the super chats and the memberships and the likes, the subscribes, the shares, all that good stuff. Let's get the word out. Let's not let Donald Trump get away with this shit. The motherfucker is a rapist, convicted felon, and he really wants to be a dictator, an autocrat. He does not like democracy or the Constitution. He wants to shred it. Let's not let this go untold. And let's not let this continuation of this, like I said earlier, the bashing of this really, really good man. Wait, sorry, darn it. It's always opposite of this guy, really great guy, and then the mainstream media keep building up things like this Project 2025 and building up Trump. We can't allow it. We can't stand for it. Get out and vote blue. Vote for Biden. Vote for Democrats. All down the ticket. We need to get the House back. We need to keep the Senate. We need to get Biden in there. We need to keep this train a rolling. Keep this blue train a rolling. Just keep it going. Keep it rolling. All right? All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then also probably the afternoon, probably at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Just remember, I am in the Pacific time zone, even though I'm way out here in the middle of the desert. I'm about 350 miles probably, or at least from the Pacific Ocean, but I am in the Pacific time zone. So just remember that and adjust accordingly for the times. All right, guys, I'm off to get some tacos because it's Taco Tuesday, and I will see you guys later. Thanks so much for being here. Always love to hang out with you guys, and I'll see you next Thursday.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again. Right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win. Right here on the Trucker John live stream. Know it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back